Hello. So it's 12:25. My neighbor has told me that he has shepherd's pie. If I'm interested, we gotta go down to the beach before we do anything. We gotta go down to the beach before we do anything, 'cause I need to bathe. It's Thursday. Thursday is the day for bathing. And plus, it's raining outside, so it's very nice out. So let's go down to the beach and jump in the water and bathe and get that shit done. Waking up is the hardest part of the day, or one of them. So I got the other video there. I don't have yesterday's video saved yet. Yesterday's video was pretty short, so this video will be pretty short too. So all my dreams are restless sleep, nightmares, and stuff as always. God, I really don't want to get up. It's 12:26. My teeth are all brushed, nice and white. 12:26. Oh, God. Get up. Put on my swim trunks. Put on one of my gloves. Put on the other glove. And I gotta do laundry really badly. Oh God, I gotta do laundry. I gotta clean out my floor. I gotta clean out my fridge of all the rotten shit in it, which is probably a lot. I was gonna make coffee, but no, I don't really want to make coffee. Yeah. I mean, I'm craving it. Really craving it. Really craving creamer for some reason. So, a lot of creamer in it. Yeah. Should have bought liquid creamer instead of the powdered stuff. But I never really tried the powdered stuff before, so try it out. Oh, you see, this is the problem. It takes me like 14 billion years to get out of bed. I just gotta do it. I just gotta get out of bed. No. Oh. No. Is this entertaining for you? Nah, this is horrible. I don't know. I'm just thinking about shit. You know, how people claim to be like pillars of the community. I've done more here. I'm more recognizable here in Ocean Shores, Washington, than I was just for living here for 5 months than I was where I grew up for 19 years. Isn't that amazing? I got recognized here. Not like from YouTube or anything, but you know, from people I knew here. I meet them in the store. It's like a whole thing. It's like wow. That's real. I can't believe that's real. You always see that like in movies and stuff, but I never thought it was real because it never happened to me. You know, and I was like, oh, that's just something that Hollywood thought up, but it's like it can't happen. It can't happen. It can't happen. You know, I was telling the girl that worked with the housekeeping I met in the post office, and I was telling her that I come from a town of 600 people, and I never ran into anyone in the store once. The one store that there was. You know, not even once. She's like, well, that's the way it goes, I guess. Now I got the inside of these gloves fucking wet, so they really, I guess they don't handle that well. They seem to be a little disheveled from that, but that's alright. Let's just put our hands in and get warm. Get our hands warm anyway. Oh my god, how the fuck are you supposed to put this on? Like that, I guess. And I guess I can, now I know better, I guess I'll put the strap on. The strap on, yeah. And, try and get it, well, it just threw sand in my eye. Jackass. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. A good glove. Neoprene. Yeah. Poison. I love poison in my hands. Yeah, the clothing's not the thing I'm most worried about when it comes to poisonous stuff. Like, obviously, that's why I bought the cotton clothes, because I don't want, like, polyester on my skin, but, you know, like, it's just not, it's not, like, the number one concern of mine. Alright, here's a towel we can take with us. We'll take a towel with us. Just because... Oh, Lord. I'm gonna go out there in the fucking freezing. It's raining out right now. I'm gonna march out there in the freezing cold water, drive down to the ocean, run into the ocean, drive back, and come and get warm. Go ahead and leave the heater on just in a general direction. And let's go down there. Oh yeah, it's raining. Oh, it's pouring rain outside. This is a good sign. Perfect weather for doing this shit in. So the park owners got mad at me for leaving the mirror out. It's like, well, you know, I don't want to throw it out. I want to leave it for anyone who'll take it. So. Ah, god damn. Fuck, it's cold. Fuck, it's cold. Fuck. Where's my house keys? Where the fuck did my house keys just go? There they are. This is why you gotta do it in the car, because it's very difficult to survive without it. Now you won't be able to really see me. I forgot to bring the stand too, but I'll just leave it up on the windshield this time. During the summer months, it's warm enough out to go out in the rain. You know, like right now, there's some guy walking his dog out in the rain. He's wearing a pretty light jacket. But I'm fucking cold. For whatever reason, I'm fucking freezing, which is a rarity for me, really. I guess it's just from just waking up more than anything. By 3 p.m. And this is good for you. Doing this shit is good for you. Bathing in the ocean is good for you, especially when it's raining outside. It's better for you. Park over here. The sand's a little bit drier. There. There you are. Let's get on this other glove. Camera doesn't know what to do with itself. That's all right. I just threw more dirt in my eye. So that's a good sign. Okay. Let's go ahead and go jump in the ocean. I'll see you in a minute. That, comrades, is the best way to wake up in the morning. We're in my case, the early afternoon. But nonetheless. You can see my breath. That's how cold it is outside. Sit here for a minute, try and get my gloves off. Enjoy the weather. The windows are fogging up from how cold it is outside. How's my rash doing? You see that there? I got a little bit of a rash going there. I've had that for months. It won't go away. I tried everything. But the water, the salt water, the ocean water is the only thing that took it away temporarily. But once I stopped bathing daily, it started coming back. Holy fuck. It ain't working right. Because the engine's not warm enough to begin with. It's so foggy you can't even see out the window here. Oh wow. Oh wow. Wow, there's a whole slick on the road in here. On Demon Road. There's a whole oh my god. Okay. The water is everywhere. Give your car a good shake. Sorry, son, I gotta drive in the opposing lane. There's an RV camper coming this way, but I gotta get around him. Oh, he turned into the hotel. That's good. I am freezing. Okay. This is why I moved here. To run out in the freezing cold rain in the dead of winter and jump in the ocean. That's why I'm here, man. That's why I'm here. I wouldn't be here if I couldn't do that. Ain't got nothing to do with aura. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing like that, man. It's just for the pure enjoyment of it, man. That's what it's there for. Everything is fogged up. My mirror, my windshield here is completely fogged up. Is that from me? Is that because of how warm I am? The heater is still frozen. Maybe I have to run it a little while before it actually gets warm. And if my car broke down or anything, obviously I'm right here anyway, but I do have a blanket and, thingy in my trunk, so I could get warm if absolutely necessary. Just like I told the guy at work, I take my jacket off if it's raining outside. He thought that was funny, the complete opposite purpose of a jacket. It's like, yeah, a little bit maybe. I feel better when I'm cold like this. I can breathe out of my nose. I don't need to blow my nose. When it's raining out, it's like that too. And it is raining right now, as you can see. But now let's go inside, and then I'll stop over at my neighbor's. And, yeah, I'll see you before I go to work. Hello. So, I just got back from my neighbor's. He made me some shepherd's pie. So, some shepherd's pie. So, it looks good. It smells delicious, but we're not going to have it right now. We're going to have that. We'll have it a little later. Put that in my fridge for now. Because we got to go in here to work, so. We got to go to work. So, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that I went over and bullshit with him, as he calls it. And yeah, it was good. I laughed a lot. He told me some good stories. As always, everybody's always got stories to tell. Old guys always got stories to tell you. They're always that way. They're always that way. So let's go ahead and get these videos up that we got done, and we'll just, upload them to YouTube. To YouTube, and we'll get that done. I only have one video done, don't I? Oh. Yeah, I only got one video done, but that's okay. Because then tonight we'll take all these videos and I'll get all these done. I'll be done with 3 and 4 too. Because it's already the 4th. Gotta catch up on this shit. Oh, God. Do I got a thumbnail for this video? No, I do not. I do not have a thumbnail for this video. Okay, let's make a thumbnail. We'll just cut to a random part. Actually, this is when I walked out into the ocean, right? So where's the ocean segment of this? Did I not go in the ocean yesterday? No, I didn't go in the... What am I saying? I didn't go in the ocean. What did I do yesterday that was interesting? Anything in particular that's interesting? I walked outside in the moon. I can do that. I can just take a quick screenshot of that. There you go. Go like here. Hold on, there is a perfect scene actually right here if I can get it. God damn. 46. 46. Let's just try and get it. There you go. Bam. Colors. Threshold. Bam. Perfect. Oh, by the way, I have a leak in my RV. And actually, let's just crop this down. Like way down. And let's scale. And we can crop it down a little bit further, actually. And also, let's add in if I can, I'm trying to get this the way I want it, but there you go. Something along those lines. Something along those lines. Actually, we can maybe just crop this down just a little bit more. An image, scale image. Perfect. Perfection. And that will be scheduled for January 6th at 8 a.m. Right? 8 a.m.? 8 a.m. January 2nd, rather, at 8 a.m. And there you go. We got that done. Okay, so I shall see you in another video. Or see you in another video. No, I will not see you in another video. And I will not see you tomorrow either. I'll see you... Well, I will see you tomorrow, but I'll see you later today first. Okay? So, yeah. I'll see you later today at the end of the day. And then, well, maybe we'll get to talking again like we did last night. That was fun. But, yeah. I'm going to go to work. Bye. See you at after 11 p.m. It's currently 2:12, so I'll see you at 11 p.m. Bye. Hello. What a fucking day, man. God damn. So it wasn't too trying, thankfully. Nothing too trying, anyway. Just learning a lot of stuff, talking about a lot of stuff. I got a lot on my mind today, anyway. Very reflective today in my mind. So I got a leak here. I got a leak in my RV. This whole thing is leaking right here. This whole goddamn fucking slide is pouring water. So that's gotta be fixed. What I'll probably do is I'll probably go out and buy some Flex Seal and get that going. So one of the very nice ladies at work who likes me bought me a nice watch. And I wear it like an engineer because I got the degree, so I can wear it like that. I'm legally allowed to. So yeah, nice Casio watch. This is the exact kind of watch me and the new guy were talking about getting. Like the retro 90s, you know, this kind of screen with the light, you know. So, I got a watch. So I can take this shit off. Which the boss demanded. We all go out and buy watches. You gotta buy your own pants, buy your own watches. I'm gonna buy gloves to wear there as well. I'm not going to use their disposable gloves. I'm going to buy comfortable fitting fucking black, like, dishwasher nitrile gloves and get that shit going. I have to go to the bathroom. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the bathroom, get all this shit, all these videos on my computer, and then I'll see you then, and we'll be recording that shit. And then I have to do laundry, and I have to put this shit away here, and a lot of other shit. So I'll see you then. Hi. So there's tons of other stuff I still gotta do. But for now, I got the videos backed up. So the videos are backed up. So now we just gotta, like, I'm looking at, like, AI games and stuff, and I'm just gonna close out of this shit anyway. And let's go ahead and start editing, quote unquote. You know, we're really not editing anything. Here we go, the vids, and then we'll go with this one because I need a project file in this one. Okay, I already have a project file for the other one, so let's go ahead and open that up. And yeah, that's yesterday's. And that'll just be going. So I want to take a little rest here because it's 11:51. I've been home for an hour. I was watching Hell's Kitchen again. I know. I got a lot on my mind, man. I've just been thinking about a lot of stuff lately. The fucking leak. That is what pisses me off so fucking much, is that there's a leak somewhere, and it's dripping right onto my bed, of course. So why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it? I'll probably pull that whole wooden paneling off, just to get a good look at it, just to see what's up with it. Because now there's going to be mold, now there's going to be everything else. We got to Flex Seal the whole roof. I know Flex Seal works, so I'm going to use Flex Seal before I use anything else. God, I need a woman. No, not really. Not really. Not yet, at least. First, you gotta get your shit in order. Got a wrench to put away. I got this shit to throw away. I mean, it's just total. It's just fucking disarray. It's just perpetual disarray. I got a piece of trash here. I got trash on the floor. I got trash on the floor over there. I got this wrench to put away. I got this over here to put away. That over there to put away. The Garmin stuff to put away. I got money to put away in a safe. I got... It's just a perpetual state of disarray at all times. At all times. Well, I'm starving to death. I just took a massive shit. So, which is good, because I've been having bowel troubles for months now. So, I'm glad I could do that. So let's go ahead and we'll turn off our water pump first and foremost. Second of all, let's grab that whatchamacallit, this bad boy. This stuff here. I hope my fridge is working. It accumulated moisture on the top. That must mean it's not working. Shit. How's the milk doing? Is the milk frozen? Yeah, the milk's frozen, so it's got to be working to some degree. So the milk's frozen. That's your indicator that should be working. The rest of it's working. I don't understand. Whatever. All right, time to microwave. Let that microwave away. Microwave away. Here's some apple cider vinegar for my teeth. Set that down here. Waters, also for my toothbrush. This thing's got to be put away. So much stuff's got to be put away. Oh God, the leaks. There's leaks. And the floor is ripping up. Oh my God, it's ripped up so much now. It's literally, now it's like completely disheveled. Oh God, it's splitting. I put my slide back out further, hopefully to like stop the leaks, or maybe that fix. I don't know. I should probably pull the slide all the way in, fix whatever's, pull off the side. There's these panels, which are useless anyway. I don't understand what these are even doing here. I don't think they attach to anything. They seem to just come right off. So, there's water dripping underneath here. This doesn't seem to be anything. This is what I would need to take off. I don't think I can take that off. It might be a beam. This is not real shepherd's pie, by the way. Like, he says it's shepherd's pie, but shepherd's pie has lamb in it. That's what makes it shepherd's pie. I would mix it around, but you can't really mix it around, per se. So I'll just see if it's hot enough. What is that noise? I don't know. I don't know what that noise is. God damn. Eldritch horrors beyond mortal comprehension. Good Lord. It's not the ocean, but it might be the ocean. Might be the ocean, actually. It might be like raging. I only noticed it now. God only knows what the microwave's doing to the recording. But anyway, yeah, so, I don't know, it's just been a very emotional day. I've been crying a lot. Thinking about shit, Thinking about the romance scammer bullshit, and thinking about thinking about people not appreciating me and everything, and people using me and so forth and so on. But it's my fault, you know. In the end, really, it really is, because I let myself be used. I remember this one. So the only date I've ever been on that I keep talking about, because it's the only experience I have. You know, it was multiple. First, before we met up, we met online. So first of all, before we met up, we had multiple phone conversations. You know, she loved my voice. It's really what she liked about me was that I listened to her and I talked with her, and I was an ear. She was very lonely, as you can tell. People are very lonely in the world, and she liked my voice. She liked how deep my voice was, which over on recording and in the phone calls, it gets like really deep, and it doesn't sound deep right now because my voice is not deep at all. But I have an extremely nasally voice. But anyway, so we talked a lot beforehand, of course. She's a firefighter. She told me about, corpses and everything, as I mentioned before. And it's just, it was a whole thing. Okay, this is sizzling now. I'm just going to say this is done. Can use a little more here. I'm just going to mix it. I don't care. I'm going to mix it up. Can definitely use a little bit longer in the microwave. So anyway, the roaring stopped. So that's good. Whatever eldritch horrors are out there, they got tired of nobody paying attention to them. So this is good shit, though. Holy fuck. Kind of tastes like everything he makes tastes like Pam non-stick spray, because everything he makes he uses Pam non-stick spray in. So it's like, for me, it's everything. But anyway, what was I even saying? I don't know. I don't even remember where I was going with this, but she told me about people in her life. She knew all these people, all these people. She was like a godmother. She's 19, year older than me, just graduating college, just graduating. I graduated college at 19 with a bachelor's degree. Not to brag. I'm a dumbass. Anyway, she was graduating high school, and she was impressed with me and everything, and she talked about all these people she knew. She was godmother to like one of her nieces or something. She was fucked up family from around the area, but she wasn't from here actually. She was families from Arkansas. A lot of people where I grew up were from Arkansas. Rick's family, Rick's father was from Arkansas, or one, maybe not. Well, he wasn't from Arkansas, I don't think, but he's from the Ozark, Appalachia, that kind of region. Same deal, same culture, and a lot of people just were. Some of my neighbors were, yeah. So they were from Arkansas. She was from Arkansas. She was actually related to one of my neighbors, who were not from Arkansas, but she was genetically related to them, so they had family in Arkansas, obviously. And yeah, so look at this shepherd's pie, man. It's good. It's good stuff. It's got peas and corn and meat and mashed potatoes. Oh, that was fucking delicious. So anyway, she talked about all these people. I know I keep saying this. She talked about all these people she knew. Fat people, ex-boyfriends, people from the area, people in her family. We talked about, because we met on a hookup app, so we immediately talked about sex, of course. and her experiences and so forth and so on, and nothing erotic about it, just as a more of a therapy session, really. And she was impressed by how inexperienced I was. And I told her the truth. I told her, I never even kissed a woman before. Still haven't, in fact. And she's a very nice person, but nonetheless, very beautiful too. Beautiful woman. But she didn't want anything to do with me. After meeting me, of course, I'm not her style. But if you know all these people, you know all these people, you claim to be out partying and doing all these grandiose things, and yet here you are sitting in a community park at 5 p.m. talking to a stranger that you met online. Me. Leo was the same way. I got all these friends, I know all these people, my good buddy, my this, that, and the other, da 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 da. He talked to me. He didn't even talk to his own brother as often as he talked to me. Like that's the level. That's the level there. It's all lonely people. Where do they all come from? It's this. People just don't. They just don't get it. They just don't. They like to think they're popular. They like to think that they're not as lonely as they are. I never got it. I never understood it myself. Like what Luke Smith says, oh, you want to be the alpha, you want to have a bunch of friends. I don't want to have a bunch of friends. The fuck? No. I don't. I want to be like my neighbor, the guy who knows everybody. Fuck that. No. No, I never wanted that. I still don't. I'm a man. I live by my own terms, by myself. The fuck? And, I say as I'm eating a meal that was given to me. The hypocrisy is paramount. But, say the concept still applies. Anyway, she was very nice, very beautiful woman to talk to. Fortunately, drug addict. Fortunately, unfortunately, is what I'm saying. I know it sounds like, because the way I talk, everything's fucked up. So I say unfortunately. I say raccoon. So it sounds like I'm saying coon, but I say raccoon. I say coffee, and coffee. And meese instead of mooses. And I said potato and tomato so much as a joke. As I demand equal representation. I don't say potato or potato. I say potato. I'd sue everyone for discrimination. I said that so often as a joke that I cannot, when I see potato. So you had all these boyfriends, you had all these experiences, you had all these connections, all these things, And you feel bad for me for never having them, and yet here you are, sitting with me. You know, it's not it's a lie essentially. Everything she made up was a lie. I'm sure some of it was real. 99% of it wasn't. You know, because that's what people do. They invent lies. I catch myself doing this too, but it's not to a point though. To a point, it's not a lie because all that matters is how you think it happened. That's all that matters. So, what is it to you is what really matters. And the more you deliberate on that, the closer to the truth you will come. You know, but it's at the same time, there's also pathological lying. I'm very familiar with it. That's what my father did his whole life, my whole life. So, I can tell the difference. I can spot the difference instantaneously. Anyway, so yeah, it just that really stuck with me. The woman I lost my virginity to was, that joke about how people, this was 2 years ago, you know how joke about people, women compliment men, they remember it for life. It's true. I remember that the woman I went on a date with liked my voice. I remember the woman that I had sex with liked my hands. She had liked that I had soft hand and my voice too, like my voice too. It's really that. It's Eleanor Rigby, man. It's all lonely people. Where do they all come from? All the lonely people. Where do they all belong? You know, everyone at work. I'm the only person they talk to. Admit it. I'm the only person they talk to. Literally. They don't talk to their husbands. They don't talk to their wives. They don't talk to their friends. They talk to me. Some random 20-year-old kid from Arizona. That's all they have. I'm all they have. It's like, what is these people? What are you people? Where did you go so terminally wrong? Remember that I love Sam Hyde's thing on over socialization because it's true. Everything he says about that is true. If life is so terminally ill for you that you have to seek refuge in MMO online communities, then please, by all means. But otherwise, stay away from social environments and socialization in general. It's for women and not for men. And even then, it's not really for women either. Look, we all have to summon our inner Pat Buchanan sometimes, okay? Just the way it goes. It has nothing to do with socialization, but in terms of immigration. Oh God, that's water damage, isn't it? Oh God. Well, maybe I'll pull in my slide. Let's see if we can stop the water damage. Luke Smith talks about how modern people have no stability. Nobody has any stability. Like I told you about, what family, what friends, this, that, and the other. There's nothing to do with. It's just life. Just remove yourself from that shit. Forget about it. It's stupid. Stupid to even pursue it. You can't raise a loving family. It just is or it isn't. You know what this leak is from? It's from my RV being tilted the other way. That's what it's from. Because it's not tilted correctly. Because I've had it before, I think. Just needs to be microwave more. That's what it's from. Wow, I'm having brain fog all of a sudden. Maybe there's something in that. Uh-oh. Being lightheaded suddenly for no apparent reason seems to be pretty bad. But anyway. Yeah, so that's just my experience with these people. People are so much lonelier than they care to admit. I'll tell you anything, man. I have no holds barred. Like I said, I just don't care about how embarrassing or whatever something is to someone. I don't give a fuck. This is what I did. I'm sorry. I'm telling you to. You have to know these things, because if you don't know what I did, how can you fucking have a chance of not repeating it? Don't do what I did. Don't ever do the things that I've done. Everything I talked about, don't fucking do. That's why I'm telling you about it. Don't become a war story victim. These are war stories to tell you not to do it. Sorry, I was... Maybe something was in this. Maybe I shouldn't eat any more of this. Uh-oh. Potatoes. Oh no, is it gonna give me a stroke like the potatoes did before? Uh-oh. I don't know. I really want to eat it though. Whatever. Don't really care anymore. I'm reading anti-federalist papers and stuff, and they're kind of just... I mean, a lot of what they say is true, and a lot of it came to fruition. Um, I can't believe there was a time when there was just this idea that there were going to be no property tax, no tax on goods, no tax on that was a thing back in the day. There was no property tax, there was no interest, there was none of these demonic things that exist now. Those used to be things, you know. Why can't they be once again? And they can be once again, despite what the so-called experts claim. Of course they can be. It's all artificial. It's all made up rules. You can change and bend them all you want. You can add and take away taxes all you want in your country, in your society. It's all made up. Alright, I'm just gonna keep eating this shit because I don't really care anymore. I'm just gonna keep eating it. I don't think it was... I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, so this is from the slide being bent in like it was. That's the problem. That's what's causing it, I think. So, which means there's a leak in the slide either way. But, now that I put it out, maybe it'll stop that. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it'll help that a little bit. It's still going, of course. I mean, I cooked this shit to death, so anything that's in it shouldn't be fucking harmful to me. But, you know, you never know with this shit. When I had that mini stroke, though, I couldn't breathe and I was lightheaded. I was lightheaded and I couldn't even think straight. So we're not quite there yet. So I've eaten potato dishes of his before and nothing bad happened. So I don't think it was the potatoes, but I might be allergic to potatoes. You never know. I mean, you know, my father tells me, he told me this again recently, don't raise your kids like we did, you know, to you. Don't push your kids so much and helicopter your kids so much as well. He didn't say that, but I say that, you know, as much as we did to you. I'm like, I know, Dad. You know, I know, Dad. I know. I lived it. I know. And God, what was I gonna say? Uh-oh, maybe I am having a reaction. Uh-oh. You said that again to me. I forgot what I was gonna say. But it's like, oh, right. Yeah, you can see the effects, the direct effects of that level of stress and pressure all the time. I mean, just look at my side profile. I mean, just look I the prostatitis and the Prince medal, the the pinched nerves, the tense muscles, the creaky joints, the osteoporosis. I'm not saying they caused all these problems. I'm saying stress doesn't help any of them. Stress makes all of them 1,000 times worse. And the wrinkles are directly caused by stress. The reason why I have the forehead of a 45-year-old man, middle-aged man, is because of stress. That's why. And, you know, I mean, you know, it's just terrible. And I have like crow's feet from hell. You can't really see it on camera that well, but I have crow's feet from hell too. You know, stress doesn't help all of these things. And maybe that mini stroke was caused by stress, not by the rancid baked potato. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. You know. But it's definitely bad. You know, I mean, it's just not good. I mean, I know, you know, I know. Don't raise your kids like how I was raised. Yeah, I figured that much out on my own, actually. Amazingly, you didn't have to tell me that part. Don't raise your kids to be indoctrinated, dumbass, fucking morons. Don't raise your kids in a state that doesn't allow you to homeschool them with basically no restrictions. You know, don't raise your kids in a state that doesn't allow you to teach them their own fucking shit at their own pace, their own testing. Have them get their GED at 16. Have them get their GED in 16. Get the fuck out. They can live with you anytime, of course, but I mean out in the of schooling. From that point on, they can research anything they want to research. You know, and it's just got to be done. It's just got to be done that way. It's just got to be done. It's just something's got to be done. I mean, you know. But probably gonna regret eating this shit now. It's making me lightheaded. But I honestly don't think this caused this. I don't know. I don't think it did. I think it was something else. I don't know what though. I kind of had this brain fog all day, kind of a little bit. So, but yeah, it's just this kind of stuff's kicking around in my head, man. This kind of stuff is the stuff I think about all the time, you know. Why are people Why do people lie? Why are people lonely? Why are people this, that, and the other? You know, why do we lie? I don't know. I don't lie. I try not to lie. I caught myself lying the other day, and I was like, oh my god, what am I doing? I'm like my father. I was like, fuck. Why do people lie? Now, to some degree, some people will lie or distort the truth to try and sell a point of how something made them feel versus how it actually was. It would seem impossible to sympathize with how it actually was versus how something made them feel. You know, and you don't want to come across sounding crazy. I've thought about explaining things differently than I have, but I've been completely honest on this channel. I've been completely honest on this channel um, about everything that's happened to me. The girl I went on a date with, by the way, is claimed to be bisexual as well, of course. So I inquired, well, what do you like about women so much? She didn't have an answer for me. She didn't know. She responded with a question. Well, what do you like about women so much? Oh, you know, they're soft, they're warm, nurturing, kind, caring, you know. It's just like, oh, yeah, that pretty much sums it up. It's like, dumbass, you don't know, just so brainwashed, so indoctrinated. And she was like a real right wing person too. She was like real right wing, but she was staunch on her bi-ness. I don't think she ever had sex with another woman, but she probably claimed to. I don't think she had sex with probably one or two men in her entire life, if I had to guess. She told me that she was, and I believe her on this, that she was abused when she was a little girl, and she was by somebody, and that's why she's addicted to marijuana, because she was basically abused as a child, and they used marijuana to keep her addicted as a very little girl, you know. And it's just disheartening shit, but I believe her on that because the way she explained it seemed very plausible and seemed very honest. There's like certain shit that you can tell she was just lying on, you know. If people talk about something like it's nothing, you know what I mean? Like people talk about like I was down here killing people and then just going on about their day. That's an edgelord looking to get a rise out of you. That's a falsity. That's fake. What they just said was fake. They lied to your face. people who have serious things happen to them take it very seriously, and she took that very seriously, and that was she could have been lying about everything, I don't know, but I have a pretty good bullshit detector. Not the best in the world. Mine's a little bit an older model, but still works. I fixed the carburetor on it, still works. Good bullshit detector. Got that flux capacitor going. Had to replace the leaf spring suspension on it, but it's a good bullshit detector. Grass fed, whole grain, grass fed, GDI. Proportional differential integral control bullshit detector. Yeah, my phone's just slipping ever upwards, and I'm just gonna and in correspondence to that I'm just gonna fucking slide out of frame. Goodbye, frame. My people need me. I must go. Ah! I'm back. My head's clearing up a little bit now. Let's eat more. Got mittens. But, yeah, so this is the kind of thing that people do. This is just what people do, It's hard to tell, because now I feel lightheaded again after taking that bite, but it's hard to tell if this is causing it or not. I don't know. I'm just going to keep eating. It tastes so fucking good. I want to eat it. There's a card my grandmother sent me. You want to read this? Dear Pancurian, I forgot to put this note, etc. This had a carrot soup recipe in it. In the package I sent you. Hope it will be of use to you. Love, Grandma. Thanks, Grandma. It's a good note to have. It's a good thing to save. Those kinds of, notes and stuff, those are good things to save, Those are good things to save. My granduncle, Gary, has passed away. I never knew him. I had brief contact with him for like 6 months, or 2 to 3 months off and on. And that was it. An email chain, and that was it. That's the only time I spoke to him. He didn't want to talk to me, so... What a loss. What a loss of information. What a loss of stories and knowledge. Not that he had much to share in the first place. But his wife didn't even know his parents' names. His wife's older than him. He's 90. He was 90. She's like 92. He had no children. He had no descendants. She had children from another man. Gary had no descendants. Maybe there's one little Gary running around in Japan somewhere, because he was in, Navy in Japan in the 60s. So maybe there's one little Gary running around Japan somewhere. At 7 years old. Gary-san. Oh. My father was American. He came over on the big boat. After they bombed us and brought great shame to our country.
Was that good? That sounded good to me. I don't know if it picked up on camera, but it sounded good to me. Uh, uh, See, I can do that with my voice. I can fake like a rasp. If the saliva just hits just right, I can fake a rasp like that, like what I just did. It's impossible to recreate on command. You have to be in the moment to do it. It's you know like when I read in Spanish, I can start it going by like trying to imitate the Telemundo narrator. This shit is done over here. I'm wasting time. I gotta get this shit rolling, dude. Let's bring our food over to the computer. Get our food over here, and we'll eat the food that's making me lightheaded because it's got drugs in it or something, maybe. And we'll start this going, and we'll turn into like Dollar Tree Hank Hill for a second, because I feel stoned. Okay, why is this the way this is?
Hi. It's 1:38, and get that over there. The computer over there situated. I accidentally pressed the volume button.
Okay, this video's like 3 hours and 26 minutes.
I'm just gonna try and fix this up. This video, see
you tomorrow. Right, that's gonna be my outro now. I forgot. I see you tomorrow, right? Alright, let's render this bad boys. God, how many gigs is this file going to be when I'm done with this full month worth of shit? And I start purging shit after this month. We'll have to see. Oh, you know what? While we're here, hold on. While we're here, let me break something down to you. So I mentioned this in the other video, but I forgot about it. Ancestry DNA. Ancestry DNA. So I got my Ancestry DNA stuff back. Okay? And let me tell you, DNA is a fake science. Science is fake. DNA is especially fake because it's all wrong. Let's go play by play. Where's Ancestry? Your DNA results are in. Explore your DNA test. You ready? Traits. First of all, origins. So, 11 ancestral regions. Munster, I knew from the big get-go that I was Irish and Norman. My grandfather, who fought in World War II, who died before I was born, had family in French, spoke French fluently, came from that whole area. And yeah, so I knew I was Irish and Norman. Was the best I could figure it. So my mother's got the Norman side in her. So 31% Munster, Ireland, 20% Leinster, Ireland, 18% southeastern England and northwestern Europe, Normandy. So they got like Normandy, southeastern England, Belgium, Dongle, 8% Donegal, Ireland, 6% Central Scotland, Northern Ireland, 5% Cornwall, 3% France, 3% Northwestern Germany, 3% Connacht, Ireland, 2% Norwegian, and 1% Southern Welsh. Alright, don't know where the Norwegian came from, but okay. Now, here's the traits. Sweet or savory foods. Likely to prefer sweet food. I hate sweet food. I can't stand sweets. I only eat bitter chocolate because I hate sweets. Alcohol flush. I don't know about that. Artist. Less artistic. Yes, that's why I care so much about art and consider science a fucking joke. Asparagus odor. I don't know. Athletically ability. Less naturally athletic. Okay. Birth weight above average. I was below average birth weight. Bitter sensitivity, unable to taste a certain bitter flavor. Now, maybe that's why I love bitter things so much. Likely to drink a lot less caffeine than average? Sure. Likely to get cavities? Hope not. My grandfather didn't have cavities his whole life. You know, that same grandfather. Cilantro aversion, likely to enjoy cilantro. I hate cilantro. Cilantro tastes like shit to me. Like soap. Chemicals. Cleft chin, unlikely to have a cleft chin. Competitiveness, likely to be competitive. Not really. In dancing, and likely to enjoy dancing. I don't dance, so I don't know, but no. Desire to succeed, less likely motivated by success. That's correct. More adaptable, sure. I don't have dimples, unlikely to have dimples. Do I have dimples? I don't know. Likely to prefer doing things alone. Likely to prefer doing things with people. Nope, I prefer to do things alone. Ear wiggling. I can wiggle my ears, so that's correct. Attached earlobes, no idea. Earwax type, wet earwax, no idea. Eye color, light eyes. Do these look like light eyes to you? Do those look like light eyes to you? Dark fucking blue. Hitler-esque blue, okay? Eyelash length, shorter, I don't know. Facial hair fullness, genes for fuller facial hair. Yeah, look at all my full facial hair, guys. I grew this afternoon. Finger length, ring finger longer than index finger. Well, that's kind of true. Flat feet, unlikely to have flat feet. I cannot walk. How do you not know that? How do you not know that I have extremely short Achilles tendon and I can't even walk flat-footed? Likely to focus easily. Not really. Freckles. Likely to have lots of freckles. Here's all my freckles, guys. You see all my freckles? You can see a lot of zits. I don't see one freckle. One freckle. How do you fuck this up so bad? Getting stronger. Likely to get stronger easily. Well, my mother could, but not me. Likely to be a goal setter. Nope. Dark hair? Yep. Got dark hair. Thin hair. I have the thickest hair in the world. Me and my father both have the thickest, longest hair that any barber has ever seen. Every barber we go to, he says, that is the thickest hair I've ever seen. So how do you fuck this up? Straight hair. I guess so. Eye-hand coordination. Unlikely I have good eye-hand coordination. That's a skill. I have good eye-hand coordination. Likely to get hangry. I do get hangry. Heart rate recovery. Average recovery rate. I have Prince metal angina. I have horrible heart recovery rate. Heat tolerance. Likely to tolerate heat well. I do not tolerate heat well. Heat makes me violently ill. Hitchhiker's thumb. Unlikely to have a hitchhiker's thumb. I don't know what that is. Holding your breath. Unlikely to hold breath for long. Sure. Individual or team sports. Likely to prefer team sports. Nope. Introverted, extrovert. Extrovert. Nope. Iris patterns. Furrows and rings. No idea. Jumping high. Unlikely to be a high jumper. I'm not black. Leader. Less likely to take the lead. Sure. Longer second toe. Unlikely to have a longer second toe. Yep. Making contact with ball. Easier to make contact. No idea. It's eye-hand coordination. Male hair loss. Genes for higher chances of male hair loss. My father is 60 years old. Dark, long hair. No hair loss here, son. Morning or night person. Morning person. I love the morning, but I can't wake up in the morning. Mosquito bites. Less attracted to mosquitoes. Let's hope so. Motion sickness. Unlikely to get motion sick. I don't get motion sick. I get a headache, but same thing. Muscle fatigue. Muscles tire at an average rate. No, my muscles tire pretty quickly. Omega-3 fatty acids. The nutrition you're going to hear is because I just ate a steak before I did this. Omega-3 fatty acids average levels. Optimist. Likely to be an optimist. Nope. Oxygen use. Above average ability to raise maximum oxygen use. That might be why I like the rain so much and the ozone and the oxygen and all that stuff. The oxygen around here, I don't know. Pain tolerance. Higher pain tolerance. Nope. Performing choreography. Performing choreography is more difficult. That's eye-hand coordination. Nope. I have good eye-hand coordination. Persistence. Likely to be persistence. Sure. Pet ownership. Unlikely to have a pet. I had pets all my life growing up. I bought a dog, for Christ's sake. But I don't have one now. Physical agility, more agile. Physical balance, likely to have good balance. No balance at all. Again, I have no balance whatsoever. Well, maybe I have above average balance because I cannot balance myself. Maybe that's true, but who knows? Physical flexibility, less flexible. Yep. Physical strength, naturally stronger. Picky eater. Picky eater. Yep. Playing an instrument, unlikely to play an instrument. Well, that's true. I don't play an instrument. I play the piano, the balalaika, the agil. I play many instruments. Playing music by ear, likely able to play by ear. How can you be able to play by ear if you're unlikely to play an instrument? No, I cannot play by ear. Quicker reflexes. Nope. Remembering dreams. Likely to remember dreams. Yep, I had a dream last night about a snake eating a leech. Risk taker. I take risks. Nope. A runner's high. Unlikely to experience a runner's high. I double over in horrible pain. Sure. Self-confidence. More modest. Nope. Self-discipline. More self-disciplined. Maybe. Skin pigmentation. Light to medium skin tone. Ghost white. What's ghost white? Speed. Faster when playing sports. Nope. Spicy foods. Unlikely to enjoy spicy foods. I put Tabasco on everything. Sports technique. More difficult to develop good technique. Sure. Sprinting. Likely to be an endurance runner. Nope. I'm a sprinter. Sun sneezing. Non-sneezer. Yep. Sweet sensitivity. Extra sensitive. Maybe that's why I hate it. Taking naps. Nap taker. I wish I could take naps. I've never been able to take a nap in my entire fucking life. Ticklishness. Likely to be ticklishness. Sure. Tolerating dairy. Likely to tolerate dairy. I am completely 100% and totally lactose intolerant. How do you fuck that up? Tolerating dairy, likely to tolerate dairy, and I'm 100% lactose intolerant. Thin hair, and I have the thickest hair that most barbers in this country have ever seen. Tongue rolling, unlikely to roll your tongue. Trying new things, likely to... I can roll my tongue, by the way. Likely to try new things. Sure, umami sensitivity. I don't know what umami is. It says I'm less sensitive. Unibrow, likely to have a unibrow. You see a unibrow here, son? Vitamin A, average levels. Vitamin B12, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin E, average levels. Watching sports, unlikely to enjoy watching sports. Yep, widow's peak, unlikely to have a widow's peak. Da-da-da-da, there's the widow's peak. Wisdom teeth, unlikely to develop all 4 wisdom teeth. Hopefully I do. So, that's literally no widow's peak. Thin hair. Less likely to play an instrument. Less artistic. And what was the other one? Lactose intolerance. You fucked up those major things. You fucked up everything about my appearance and my internal digestion and my likes and dislikes. And you're telling me genetics is real? You're telling me to believe this origins chart that says I'm 3% Norwegian for some reason? You kidding me? I think Ancestry just went down. Internal server error. You know, this is why I say the things I say, guys. It's not unfounded what I speak. What I speak of is not unfounded. You know, I mean, there's nothing even close. You know, there's nothing even fucking close to the truth about that. So, it told me what I already knew and gave me things that are clearly wrong, and then other things that are impossible to identify. Thanks a lot, Ancestry. I don't know what I expected, honestly. I thought there would be fucking more. I just thought there'd be more to it, but there wasn't. Unfortunately, there just wasn't. It really disappointed me. It really, 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 really disappointed me. It really fucking disappointed me. I gotta say. How can you say genetics or DNA testing is real when you fucked up lactose intolerance, widow's peak, and thin hair, which are like three of my most obvious and most defining characteristics, physical characteristics. Literally, like the top three. Widow's peak is maybe top 10, but the long, thick, extremely long hair is number fucking one. The lactose intolerance is number fucking two. How do you fuck that up? I have dark fucking blue eyes, dude. I have dark blue eyes. I have Hitler-esque eyes. I mean, this man's Adolf. Where is he? Where's a good picture of Adolf Hitler? Give me a good picture of Adolf. Look at how fucking dark. God damn, I can't fucking see this goddamn image. Look at how fucking dark Adolf Hitler's eyes were. Now, mine aren't even as dark as his. Okay, that's Adolf Hitler. Mine are not as dark as his, but nonetheless, pretty fucking dark. Hitler-esque. You know, Mussolini had what, brown eyes? Benito. Benito. I think he had brown eyes. Yeah, he had really dark brown eyes too. Really, really dark. Benito, goddamn you. The brutal execution of Benito Mussolini. He was just shot. I don't know. He was killed pretty painlessly. Aim for my heart. The most broken-hearted man to ever exist. Saddest story of unrequited love is the life of Benito Mussolini. Anyway, so yeah. How do you fuck that up, dude? How do you fuck up? And sweet things. I am known for hating sweet things. Yes, I drink chocolate milk with bitter, dark fucking chocolate in it. Only. I cannot stand standard chocolate syrup. I need the extra fucking dark, super dark, bitter fucking chocolate syrup to drink it. I cannot stand
chocolate milk that isn't fucking bitter. I can't stand coffee that isn't fucking bitter. I know I said I bought the creamer because I was craving creamer, but I can't put sugar in my coffee. I can't fucking eat sugar. I can't eat sugary shit. It just tastes like ass to me. How do you fuck that up? That's a defining feature of me. Is I never ate candy as a kid. I never eat candy now. That is a defining characteristic of me. That's like number 3, right up there with the lactose intolerance and the long fucking hair. You have to be a fucking failure. I mean, it was a failure. Either they got someone else's DNA test. Either it's someone else's fucking DNA test. Which is entirely possible, because it certainly ain't mine. It certainly is not fucking mine. Where did Norwegian come from? Why is there Norwegian in there? I'm not Norwegian. Yeah, I guess the Ancestry site literally just went down in real time because it's giving me an internal server error every time. So, .com down right now. Is Ancestry down detectors down? What the fuck? I don't know. Anyway, Ancestry DNA. Let me look this up. Ancestry DNA traits completely inaccurate. Is that like a common thing? Ancestry traits is highly inaccurate. There you go. Yeah, the traits for me are almost completely opposite of what I really like. They're really laughably bad. How they managed to fumble new trait software this badly. For me personally, nothing was really wrong with They're not influenced by genes. Because there's no such thing as genetics. Because there's no fucking such thing as genetics. Because genetics don't fucking exist. Actually, they are. Actually, they are. No. No, they're not. I've seen more accuracy with zodiac signs. Yes, I have too. I'm a Cancer, so. I mean, Cancer zodiac personality. Let's just fucking Google it. Nurturing, emotional, intuitive, and loyal. Well, you can't say that's pretty accurate. None of those. Emotional, sure, I'm a fucking basket case. Loyal, sure. Nurturing, I try to be. Intuitive, again, not at all. They often rely on their gut instincts to have a deep connection. Oh, well, that's what they mean by intuitive? Then yeah. Potential challenges. Moodiness. Similar to moods. Insecurity and no insecurity. Tenacity, stubbornness, clinginess. Well, I've been called clingy before, so. I've been called clingy many times in my life, actually. Actually, that's not entirely true. I've been passive aggressively called clingy several times in my life. But nonetheless, fucking ancestry DNA. It turns out it's all bullshit. Who could have fucking guessed? Who could have fucking guessed? You know what? That science isn't fucking real. That genetics is fake. That it's all fucking 19th century fucking bullshit. Forgetting how to fucking use Google. According to one of my mother's uncle, so my granduncle, one of them, Tommy, I believe his name was. I don't know. I never met him. Obviously, he's dead. He's been dead for 40 years, but nonetheless, he worked for IBM, and he traced. Now, this is a devout Catholic guy who would literally go to the mat for Catholicism, but he traced our lineage back to the Huguenots and back to the Sephardic Jews, actually. Dark Irish, Moorish Sephardic Jews that emigrated to Ireland, which is a sect of the Irish known as the Dark Irish, which were Moorish people who moved to Ireland. And primarily of those people were Jews escaping both Islamic and then later on Catholic persecution from the Inquisition, and then first from the Umayyads and then from the Reconquista. So that's where that was his dead end. That's where he dead ended off. So that's like 980. That's where he dead ended off. So yeah, that's all he got out of it. So in theory, I should have Jew in me. As well, Moorish Sephardic Jew, but like Bibi Netanyahu. But and then the DNA test throws in Norwegian. I am, this is strictly a Celtic thing. This is strictly, how did the Norwegian end up there? How the fuck did that happen? How many Anglo-Saxons? So few Anglo-Saxons was in my genetics. How did a Norwegian end up in there somehow? I was joking about, because, my neighbor met his son that he didn't know it was his son through Ancestry DNA. And, just some broad he knocked up 45 years, 60 years ago, And didn't know about it, didn't know about the kid or anything. And anyway, so when I came back in Norwegian, and he was Norwegian, genetically, and he he made a joke about that. Oh God, no, not again, you know. uh, oh God, Norway. Norway is nice this time of year. So yeah, so Munster, Ireland. So what was the capital of Munster, Ireland? Munster, Ireland. Area in the Republic of Ireland. So this whole southern region was the Kingdom of Munster. Once the Kingdom of Munster. So this is the real Gaelic fucking shit. So this is the real fucking Gaelic fucking Ireland. So what? Cork? History. Kingdom of Munster. What was the capital? Cork. So Cork. So let's go to Google Street View of Cork and let's see if my ancestral homeland of Cork, Ireland, comes to jog some epigenetics in me. Oh wow, look at that. It looks like fucking Baltimore. I've never been to Baltimore, but I've been through Maryland for a very brief period of time. But I've never been to Baltimore. But I'm assuming that this impoverished, rundown, nasty, dirty fucking place would be something similar to Baltimore. Let's go out into rural county Cork. Let's just go out to some fucking dirt goat path somewhere. Here's a goat path. Doesn't quite look like what I would consider home. I consider this Washington area, Grays Harbor County area home. Now it does have the rain. It doesn't have the dense forest and the trees, does it? And it doesn't have as much rain either. So in theory, I should be Irish. Through and through. Irish. Like over 60% Irish, essentially. And then the rest of it's Norman, primarily. So, Normandy. I don't even know where Normandy even is. There it is. Omaha Beach. Le Havre. Let's go to Le Havre. Wow, look at that. It also looks like a fucking rundown nightmare shithole. Like a third world nation. Wow, look at that. It's like downtown Tashkent. Downtown Tashkent on a cool summer's Saturday evening. Tashkent's cleaner, though. I've never left the lower 48. That's how you know I'm true American blood. I've never left the lower 48. Here's rural Normandy. It's fucking grass and grass and grass as far as the eye can see. So that's where my great to the power of 10 grandfather fucked sheep in between breeding my great grand to the power of 10 grandmother. He fucked sheep in the rural suburbs of Le Havre in 700 AD. So it's good to know. This is very important impersonal information to me. And then the Cornish and the Welsh doesn't make any sense. The Cornish and the Welsh, where the fuck did that come from? Where did the Cornish and the Welsh come from? Where are we Cornish and Welsh? We have no Cornish or Welsh in us. Well, actually, my father's last name, it might be Welsh. Well. And I'm amazed at the amount of Scottish, the Scots-Irish. I'm amazed at the amount of Scots-Irish. I'm amazed at Norwegian. And then the northeastern Germany. Supposedly, my grandfather had family on the Rhine, not in northwestern Germany, not in northwestern Germany, in southwestern Germany. Supposedly, but but this is the thing. That's all complete bullshit, because it didn't even know that I was lactose intolerant. It didn't even know that I had a widow's peak or extremely thick hair. It didn't even know anything about me. So it's completely bullshit. It's complete bullshit. I mean, the whole thing is fake. It's all fake. I'm telling you. Don't believe the lies just because it didn't work for me. Who did it work for? Who did it work for then? Fucking name one person. Ancestral journeys. Oh, here we go. Let's see this shit. Likely lived and moved in the past 300 years. So, South Cavan, North Meath. That's not where you said I was from. You said I was from fucking Munster, not over here. Whatever. So then they moved and emigrated to where? Virginia, Kentucky, Indiana, and Ohio. Well, first of all, okay, well that's correct. That's where my grandfather was from, was Ashland, Kentucky. So Ashland, Kentucky to generally around here. Okay, well that's okay. Well, you got that right. So what's in the past 300 years? Well, that's it? You think that my family's from... That's only my father's side of the family is from Virginia and Kentucky and Ohio and Indiana. That's only my father's side of the family. What are you fucking talking about? Ancestral journeys by parent. Hold the fucking phone. Parent 1. Parent 2. What? What parent 2 is still in Ireland, huh? There's no ancestral journeys for parent 2. They're just in Ireland still. What? No, my parents are not from Ireland. My parents are like 8th generation Americans. Both of them. Chromosome painter? I don't know. I don't know. Chromosome painter. I don't know about chromosomes. Anyway. $46,000 matches. What does that mean, dude? You're not right. You're wrong. It's just all wrong. There's nothing I can do with this information because it's not even accurate. It's not even accurate. So what can I even do with this information then? You know, what can I do with it? You know, if it's not even, I can't even trust anything it says, and all the family tree shit is just bullshit. It's all just impossible to verify nothingness. It's nothingness. There's nothing I can I can't verify any of it. Whatever. Let's just fucking deactivate my account or whatever. Just stop paying. How do I get rid of the payment method? Manage payment plans. Delete. How do I gotta get rid of the payment plan. I gotta get rid of the payment plan, not the payment method. Active membership. Cancel membership. Cancel membership. Thank you. We'd hate to see you miss nothing. Fuck you. Ancestry doesn't have the content I need. reached a dead end. Doesn't have the records. Other, please specify. Ancestry, not that you'll read this, has impossible to verify, somewhat iffy at best birth records with no genetic accuracy in the side of traits, or a genetic accuracy in terms of the traits, and continually suggested incorrect, which it did, by the way, information about matches for my relatives that, oh, it's a maximum of 200 characters. Of course it is. Well, there you go. Continue to cancel. Cancel my membership. Fucking piece of shit. Fuck you. Completely fucking wasted my goddamn time. God, that pisses me off. I spent $80 fucking on that shit. You know that I spent $80 fucking on that thing. For it to tell me nothing and do nothing for me. That's very fucking deceptive, saying 3-month free trial, but then it's the same fucking, then you have to pay the membership all 3 months. It's free trial for the rest of it. Yeah, we're done. I'm done with that shit. That just pisses me off. You know, how can you possibly say, how can you have any faith in anything these experts say after shit like this? How can you have any faith? How can you be so fucking retarded, so fucking ignorant that you would believe a word that comes out of these animals' mouths? I mean, you have to be stupefyingly unintelligent. Didn't fucking tell me anything. I'm just really pissed off today, man. You know, I'm sitting there going through a guilt trip over my fucking parents. Constantly. You know, Ancestry DNA, you know, they wanted to know about it, and I'm like, I have nothing to tell you. It didn't tell me anything. You log into my account and go look for yourself. It doesn't know it. It doesn't tell you anything. Mouse, a survivor's tale, my father bleeds history. Best-selling installment in the graphic novel claimed the most effective and successful narrative ever about the Holocaust. Mouse. I really don't care about the Holocaust. I don't give a fuck about the Holocaust. Or anything that happened in the Holocaust. Sucks to suck, man. Sorry. You gave up your guns. You voted him in. You voted Hitler in. You gave up your guns. You did this. You followed the people into the gas chambers that may not have been real, considering there's no evidence for the gas chambers existing. So, now the Soviets used the gas chambers. They used gas chambers. They used Zyklone B, but the rest of it, probably not. So, sucks to suck. You tolerated it. You let it happen. Go read the Jew Bird, man. Go read the Jew Bird. It's it's the truth, man. I know, based and red pilled, the Jew Bird. How can you believe in race or genetics or evolution or anything after this shit? How can you possibly believe? How can you possibly just ask a question? Just try and find answers and you'll find nothing. I mean, you'll find emptiness. You'll find fuck all. No, I don't believe that all of humanity evolved from a common ancestor. No, I don't. I don't believe that they evolved from a common ancestor. I believe we all have a common ancestor, probably back to Adam and Eve. But no evolution took place. But you know, and all this shit, we're going back to this Malcolm X bullshit of racial segregation. Race doesn't fucking matter. Race doesn't mean anything, dude. Race doesn't exist. Race only exists in your tiny mind. If you believe black people exist, you're small brain. If you believe black people exist, you're an idiot. They're just people. You can't, after seeing this shit, after seeing this dogged bullshit, after seeing this fucking asinine, you're going to tell me that genetics is real, that race is real, that all these things are real? Yeah, sure, buddy. Sure, buckaroo. Oh, yeah. It's my whiteness that makes me the way I am. Sure. That's why genetics can't even fucking tell whether I have dark or light irises or literally fucking anything. Light to medium skin tone. Are you high? I'm like a pale Hyperborean. I was blonde hair. Here's another thing. Irish. 60% Irish. Blonde hair, blue-eyed child. I have blonde hair. Because of whatever chemical imbalance in my puberty, it's basically black at this point. But when I was a child, I had blonde fucking hair. Ivory blonde fucking hair. Not ivory blonde, but my father had ivory blonde hair when he was a child, and then he had blonde hair his whole adult life. You know, supposedly 100% Irish. Yeah, there ain't no Irishman with blonde hair, let me tell you. You know, I mean, this is fake. That's fake. There's nothing there, man. That's nothing burger. There's nothing provable about race. You can't prove it. If you can't prove it, it's just not real. I'm sorry. If you can't prove its existence, it's not real. If I seriously the only one that looks at, and I'm not, this is not a troll point, this is not some liberal bullshit, you know, we don't stand for that shit here. I legitimately do not feel anything when I look at a white person versus when I look at a black person. I feel no difference. Am I just brainwashed? Am I cucked? Am I like some beta male? Please help me out if you can. Like, it just doesn't register with me. I mean, is that crazy? I don't think so. I don't think it's natural to feel an affinity towards one race or another because I don't think races exist. I'm pretty sure they don't. I'm with almost 100% certainty that they don't. Sorry, I'm looking at pictures of Turkmenistan right now. I don't know why. I just Tashkent, you know. Ashgabat is the capital of Turkmenistan, but you know Uzbekistan is the capital. Tashkent is the capital of Uzbekistan. Anyway, yeah. So you know, like these things just can't exist. You know, if you can't even determine like the most basic information from a DNA test. And who are these fucking Redditors? You ever think about that? Go look at a fucking thread on Reddit. Who sits around and has the time to respond to all this shit and write all this shit out and make all these snarky remarks and all this shit? Who the fuck are these people? Who the fuck are Redditors? Idiots, that's who. You know, and if you're to believe the racial genetics, then there are no white people, or black people, or anything else. As I've said before, if you're to believe the propaganda, there's all sorts of different races. So make up your fucking mind. You know, those, the Hitler's 14 words or whatever, the beauty of the Aryan race must not perish from this earth or whatever. First of all, blondes? Nope. Nope. I draw a hard line at blondes. Absolutely not. No blondes here, no blondes allowed. Nope. Second of all, blue eyes, putrid, disgusting. Don't like it. Looks like me. Don't like me. So no. Blue eyes? Nope, no blue eyes here. Maybe all, but I'll allow it. I'll allow it. No blue eyes here though. Ideally. Watch this. I'll get an Aryan wife, of course, because I said all this. Because life hates me. But nonetheless, dude, you're. Are you sure that you are straight? Blonde hair, blue eyes, women, Aryan women, Teutonic women. Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now? You gonna look like Maria Shriver, and you're thinking like that's like pinnacle woman? Like no, that's pretty much the Wicked Witch of the West, if I had to say so myself. Not nothing like that. Amazingly enough, I do have an affinity for Irish women, for Irish descending women. You know, Sigourney Weaver, Mackenzie Phillips. You know, Irish-looking women. Samantha Fekety's Hungarian-looking. You know, I also have an affinity for Hungarian women-looking women. You know, same business. Same business, you know, Hungarians, Irishmen, same thing, you know. Both drink a lot, so it's everyone drinks a lot. We're all Irish, actually. That's the meme. It's all Ireland. It always has been. We're all drunks. That's it. Anyway, yeah. So supposedly we also have Native American in us as well. That's another thing. The Huguenot Native American intermarriages. He found a huge proportion of like Native American, and it was like 10% or something like that. And some of my mother's mothers, my grandmother's direct relatives were like beneficiaries of Native American mental hospitals as well. So like it even makes sense there. But anyway, you know, then what do you consider the racial makeups of like people from the Americas? Because there is a distinct race of American. Americans are genetically their own race because white European Americans do not resemble those of their European counterparts. They bred into their own race, if you want to get technical. Same thing with African Americans. African Americans don't look like Africans. You know, that's the kind of what I prefer. Maybe that's why I can't see race. Maybe that's why I'm like this blue-pilled idiot when it comes to race. Because I just see black bitches and I'm like, gimme. That's like the first internal, that's the instinct, that's my instinctual response. Conquer. Give me that. I need that right now. That is coming home with me tonight. Period. End of story. You know, that's my first initial thoughts upon seeing that sweet hot chocolate. Maybe that's my problem. That's my issue. I've been brainwashed. Yeah, that's the clear problem. I've been indoctrinated. What's that? I'm thinking of one particular actress's name. Um, what the fuck is her name? Oh, what movie was that? Oh, she was so hot in that movie. What the fuck was her name? What was the name of that fucking movie? God damn it. I don't even remember what the movie was about. I just remember she was hot in it. Oh, God. Black female movies. Black female movies from 2000 and 2004 or something. Uh, the fuck was it? I'm looking it up. It's all just black women. Movies about black women. It wasn't about black women. It wasn't about black women. Oh, God, I don't remember that. Anyway, there's a million examples. I'm just blanking right now. I have Presque-Vu right now. You know. But, yeah. That's my problem. Obviously. It's actually so ingrained into me, my white epigenetics to want to be a slave driver of black women, that it's just an instinctual response that negates my racism, my intrinsic genetic racism. That's how it works. It's so bred into me to want to enslave black people that my desire for black women then to enslave them negates the racism. You see how insane this logic is, right? This is the natural logic if you follow this bullshit of race and genetics through, right? This is the logic. How else can you explain scientifically how I feel? How else can you do it? I mean, this is the insanity. This is the insanity you're gonna go through trying to explain this shit. Okay, you understand? Those words I just said are fucking nuts, dude. That's funny. That is fucking funny. I wanted to look up the history of the quinault. By the way, the video's compiling. It's not going to be done forever. So let's just look up the history of the Quinault Nation as well. Like, Quinault Indian Nation. I want to learn about your history. Government. About us. Tribal Council, Tribal Court. Y'all got like a history page or something? It's extremely racist. I hate this. I believe that Indian nations, which I don't believe... Actually, let me rephrase this. I don't believe that Indian nations are racial segregation. Indian nations are racial segregation. It has nothing to do with my beliefs. They are horrible atrocities to human lives and and they're anti-American, and they need to be abolished and destroyed to their very core. And everything about them needs to be eradicated from the face of this earth. So that's my official legitimate stance on that. But yeah. So let's just start off with the Wikipedia article. Actually, let's go to their official website. About us. People of the Quinault. There they are, dressed in fake tribal garb that doesn't exist, that never existed. We are among small number of Americans who can walk the same beaches, paddle the same waters, and hunt the same lands our ancestors did centuries ago. Small number of Americans who can walk the same beaches centuries ago. Well, my ancestors can too, so fuck you. The Quinault, not that that fucking matters, you know, the Quinault Indian nation consists of descendants of the Quinault, Queets, Quileute, Hoch, Chehalis, Chinook, and Cowlitz people. Our ancestors lived a major physical and cultural dividing line. Major physical and cultural dividing line. Beaches to the south are wide and sandy, while to the north, the rugged and cliff line. We shared cultures of the people to the south as well as those to the north. That means that's a nothing sentence. Living in family groups, long houses up and down the river. You didn't have long houses. No, you didn't. We were sustained by land and waters, by trade with neighboring tribes. No, you weren't. You were sustained by war. Superb salmon runs, abundant sea mammals, wildlife and forests provided substantial material and spiritual wealth for our ancestors. To this day, we fish, hunt, and gather from the same lands as our ancestors. Through millennia, plants have been provided food, medicine, materials, spiritual. Western red cedar, the tree of life, provides logs for our canoes, bark for our clothing, split boat houses, and more. We, the canoe people, we are the canoe people, the people of the cedar tree. That's what Quinault means. We remember our past while employing modern principles in a unity that will hope to bring promise to our people now and in the future. Self-governance. The Quinault Indian nation, because it's definitely a nation, is a sovereign nation with the inherent right to govern itself and to deal with other tribes and the government on a government basis. Bylaws established in 1922 and the Constitution approved in 1975 form the foundation of modern-day Quinault government. Our General Council meets annually. So the white ideas of civilization form your government, huh? Our General Council meets annually the last Saturday in March, hold elections, accept new tribal members, allocate fishing grounds, discuss issues relevant to tribal relations. Quinault Bitters Committee sits of 4 executives, so they operate like a communist or fascist government, similar to how Mussolini's government operated. Okay. The Self-Governance Act of 1980 began a demonstration project with the Bureau of Indian Affairs providing funding for our tribes to assume services otherwise provided by the federal government. In 1990, we took the challenge along with 6 other tribes to implement. This law was amended in 1991 and authorized the funding for assumption of medical care by tribes. Indian Health Service. After 150 years of mismanagement by the federal government, it was obvious that tribes could manage their own affairs better and make their own decisions without external interference. This is the basic philosophy of self-governance. You wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for the federal government. You have no money. I pay your fucking money. I pay you to live. Literally. My money is stolen out of my paycheck so you can fucking walk this earth. Tribal operations consist of the following areas. Communist. Planning for the future. People remain our name as the same greatest resource. We live in the agreement with federal government policies often impoverished our people. During the last 3 decades, the tribal government has taken steps necessary to reestablish control over our own destiny, develop a strategic plan as a roadmap. They're treasonous little bastards, aren't they? See, this is why it needs to be abolished. This is treason. This is insane. This is treason of the highest fucking order. These people need to be... The people are not the problem. The people don't even want this there. They do want to govern themselves. They want to be part of the fucking union. But you won't fucking let them. So, either assimilate or get the fuck out, because you're here. This is the real world, motherfucker. I don't give a fuck about what your ancestor worship is, what your Japanese idea of ancestor worship is. I don't really care. This is the real world now. This is now, and we're living in now. I don't give a fuck what happened to you 100 fucking years ago. We're living in now. Okay? Dumbass. Indigenous peoples. They're indigenous peoples. You don't know anything. You don't know fucking anything. But anyway, Guy Pullman is supposedly like the main guy, and he sucks at life. Apparently, he's like a drunkard idiot. He has like 1,000,000 wives and like 16 billion children. And he like sucks at life, according to the people that I've spoken to. It's just a very corrupt fucking... I can email this dude. I can fucking email this guy. Guy Capone at quinalt.org. Compose. Okay, I'll take you up. I'll take you up on your offer. To Guy.Capone at quinalt.org. I'll take you up on this offer, motherfucker. You can say I can fucking email you? Guy.Capone at quinalt.org? Yeah? You say I can fucking email you? I'm gonna fucking email you, motherfucker. You better believe I'm gonna email you. Questions? Hello. I was wondering if you could provide any insight into the historical or modern and or modern theological and religious beliefs / practices of the Quinault nation. I am a religious scholar and love studying theology. I would greatly appreciate any resource link, resource or insight you have into this topic. Thanks. Sans Serif? Fuck you, Sans Serif. I'm not sending a fucking email in sans serif Georgia. I'd rather send an email in Georgia font than sans serif. That's right, that's the kind of person I am. Now watch this. It's gonna be like, oh, can't send it. There you go. I email Guy Capone. The Guy Capone. Let's see. Let's hear this guy talk. Tribal steward, Guy Capone. Tribal steward. He's a steward? Tribal stewards
I'll
program?
go ahead and start out. My name...
Climate Solution.
My birth certificate name is Guy Capone. My real name is Nachuktua, and I'm the president of the Quinault Indian Nation.
My birth certificate is Guy Capone. My real name is Nachuktua.
I'll go ahead and start out. My name... My birth certificate name is Guy Capone. My real name is Nachuktua, and I'm the...
No, your name is well, I mean my birth certificate name isn't my real name, so
Of 50, 60 years ago, nowhere near that.
hold on, let's go ahead.
Treaty signer. I'll go ahead and start out. My name...
Let's just mute this and watch this video. I'll go ahead and start my name. Let's see if the YouTube subtitles pick it up. Guy Kimmen. My real name is Naka, it says in the subtitles. I represent all 3,140 tribe members and our ancestors and the future of our people as well. We represent, this place we're out as Tula, and the subtitles Tahola. After our hereditary chief, our head signer, Chief Tahola, his village was in this place. There's no villages. There were times when the villages went all the way up this river. There were no villages. You don't even know your own history, dude. You didn't have houses. You didn't have villages. You didn't have settlements. You didn't have property. You lived off the land and you migrated everywhere. You don't even know what you're fucking talking about, dude. You don't even know what drugs you're on, dude. What are you fucking on, dude? You don't even know your own history. Fuck you. You know, I mean, I hope he doesn't really believe this shit. I hope he's just saying this shit because he has to. Here's some white guy. I had the opportunity to visit the Quinault area a couple months ago. I've been all over the world, but this place absolutely captivates me. There's so much history in those mountains, rivers, lakes, etc. I would even believe that half of it has been lost to history. I hope to see the Quinault people thrive. And then right below it, thanks for helping the salmon, man. Yeah. Well, this guy sounds like a liberal idiot, so we're just going to disregard everything he says. Man, here's what he wants to hear and disregards the rest. And I would advise him to disregard everything he believes. Because he's a moron. A terminal moron. So I understand now where these people are coming from, because holy fuck, yeah, I mean, I can immediately see that that guy is a dumbass. So that's pretty wild. My guitar is on its way. That is pretty wild. So the Quinault people basically were a hunter-gatherer. As all natives, they were a propertyless, arealess, claimless hunter-gatherer people that just wandered about the earth, killing each other, warring with each other, destroying each other in every chance, genociding and enslaving each other every chance they got. And scalping, burning, raping, pillaging, destroying everyone in their path, anyone that is unfortunate enough to meet them. And that they managed to survive all this time. They managed to survive by the time we got here, when they were already warring themselves into extinction. We kept them alive, actually. They're the only reason they're alive is because of us and our efforts. And had they been left to themselves and their own devices, and had they been left to nature and survival of the fittest, they would have gone extinct. As did all of their neighbors. But they're still here, and they're segregating us, and they're committing treason against us, and they're subverting the United States and its people's interests. Destroying, hurting, and killing us in every possible manner they could possibly think of. And we pay for it. Isn't this just a just government? Isn't this a just government? Isn't this a just and true and fine government? Don't you think so? Don't you think that this is a just government? Don't you think that this is a sane government? Don't you think that this government has its shit together? Yeah, I'd say so, right? I'd say so, right? This government, yeah, that's a just and sane government. That government has its shit together. Yeah, sure, definitely. And it snows in hell, and pigs fly. Isn't this fucking nuts? Isn't this fucking nuts, dude, that we live in 2025 and we have racial segregation? We segregate the natives from the white people. Well, really vice versa, but You know, they're just people. I'm a native, actually. That's the thing. That's the thing that pisses me off more than anything. I am a Native American. I, Pan-Kyrian, am a Native American. I was born and raised in America. In Arizona. I'm a native Arizonan, actually. I'm a Native American. Just as much as any of them are. I would argue more than they are, in fact. Because I adhere to American ideals. Ideals that they once thought were good, that they once supported. But now consider whatever they consider it. Sickening shit, man. You ever want to be fucking sickened by life? Just look at all this shit going on in the world. Yeah, abolish the reservations. It's time to end racial segregation. Once and for all. But you know what? Nothing will happen. And 600 years from now, there'll be some asshole claiming to be Quinault and claiming to resurrect the Quinault Empire, just like there's Anton Bakov in his Romanov Empire. And he's going to lead a holy genocide against all the inferior non-Queets, Quinault, Cowlitz, Chinook, Cagney and Lacey, everything under the fucking sun people. A holy jihad to genocide all the non-Queets, Quinault, Quintana Roo, Quesadilla people. And his name shall be Dan. Because that's a very Dan thing to do. Or, actually, his name can be, I don't know, what's a good name for a genocidal idiot besides Paul Atreides? His name can be Gewürztraminer. His name can be Gugelmeyer. Dan Gugelmeyer Gewürztraminer, holy jihadist, genocidal warrior of the Quinault Empire, in the year 2625, will begin a holy crusade across the earth to burn, pillage, and destroy all non-holy and sanctified races, implementing elements far worse than Auschwitz could ever have possibly dreamed of being. Otherwise known as the Josef Mengele of the Pacific Northwest. Is that how you pronounce his name, Josef Mengele? How do you pronounce his name?
Joseph Mengele.
Josef Mengele. That's the American pronunciation. Josef Mengele, yeah.
Josef Rudolf Mengele.
Mengele. There you go. The Angel of Death. Now, he wasn't even sane. He was actually, a true schizophrenic killer guy. He was a real guy. He was a real killer. He was a real psychopath guy. And he died in Brazil, of course. Divisa Angel. Todesangel. Pseudoscience of scientific racism. Yes, because definitely a pseudoscience. Dumbass. All of science is a pseudoscience. He assessed the racial heritage applicants for the Aryan certificate. Do I get an Aryan certificate because I have blonde hair, blue eyes? Document required before a person can qualify for government jobs or German citizenship. Mengele married Irene Schonbein, whom he had met while working as a medical resident in Leipzig. Their only child, a son they named Rolf, was born in 1944. Well, whatever happened to Rolf? What happened to Rolf Mengele? What happened to Rolf Mengele? The Jewish Chronicle. How Rolf Mengele questioned his father, the doctor of Auschwitz. Son of notorious SS doctor. So there's, I guess that's him, I don't know. For a part, Josef Mengele awaited his son's visit to his hideout in the suburb of Sao Paulo with much anticipation, prepared for the only inquisition in his life. You wish to have a dialogue, he wrote to Rolf. Very well. Oh, really? He abandoned Rolf. I do not have the minutest inner desire to justify or excuse any decisions, actions, or behavior regarding my life. My tolerance has its limits. Latin English Dictionary. Naturally, the whole mob of characterless subservience which nowadays tyrannizes Germany tear into him through Mengele, referring wistfully to the fact that even Israel could now teach Germany a lesson in natural pride and military strength. Sadly replied, suddenly German bookshops no longer release wartime exploits. Holy shit, yeah, well, they censored the shit out of him because... Okay, so he got on a flight. A commuter jet, Wolfram Elizabeth. More of a hut than a house. There's some pictures of some dying, emaciated children, thank God. Wow, it's Uncle Fritz, okay. Rolf is bed, I slept on the floor. Wow. Laird approached, getting his father to state his case, drawing out the evidence, chief examination. I told my father I was interested in hearing about his time in Auschwitz. What was Auschwitz according to his version of events? Did he have a role in things he was charged with? According to Rolf, his father stated philosophical, pseudoscientific verbiage, evading essential points, justifying racist views. So, in other words, explaining himself, and you don't want to say anything about it. Critique of prehistoric evolution. Well, yeah, I mean, it's all bullshit. He's quoted with saying, "There are no judges, only avengers." I like that quote. I'm going to steal that quote from Mr. Mengele. There are only no judges, only avengers. How could he explain the many crippled and deformed people had brilliant minds? My father couldn't give a proper answer to that. He just waffled and on and on. Because they are individuals. I mean, the whole point, socialism, you got to think about where they're coming from here. Here, most of the arguments for sociological, historical, and political, they're quite unscientific. Sociological, historical, and political is unscientific, huh? Oh, good. That's why races are superior than other. So you're telling me that despite the fact that one race invented everything and the other races couldn't invent the hut, there's no scientific basis for that at all. Yeah, okay, sure. He knew this was my route into Auschwitz and what he did there. Ralph Spellman's probably learned a lot about him. It's actually Latin and Greek. Is mentally alert. Also, mood swings, talk of suicide, depression, and temper. Wow, but he learned nothing about what his father actually did at Auschwitz beyond his claim had to do with his duty to carry out orders. And that he had not invented Auschwitz. No, Himmler invented Auschwitz. Explained to his son that the skelections were analogous to a wartime field hospital where doctors had to make near instantaneous decisions who to save and who to let die. People were arriving infected with disease, half dead, his father said, claiming to have done best to save people by selecting as many able to work as possible. Mengele claimed that even twins in the camp owed their lives to him, and that he personally had never harmed anyone in his life. Seeing his son's incredulity, Mengele became angry. Don't tell me that you, my only son, believe what they write about me. On my mother's life, I've never heard anyone. These allegations, these facts left me speechless. I tried to tell him that the presence in Auschwitz was alone unacceptable to me, hoping he'd say I tried to get a transfer to the front, I did this, I did that, but he couldn't. Unfortunately, I realized he'd never express any remorse or guilt. There's no point in going on, yeah. There was no point in going on, yeah. Now I can die in peace. Oh, that's nice. I mean, he probably... what are you gonna believe? What a fucking psychopath. Who's the real psychopath? Rolf or Mengele? Are you kidding me? Who are you gonna believe? So hold on a second here. I mean, god damn, your child grew up so fucking brainwashed that he'd believe the propaganda over the first-hand account of his own father. I mean, you can hear by the way that that's phrased. You don't tell me you believe what they write about me. Like he was surprised you even had to say that. God, he had journals and they were all destroyed. He was glad to see the diary. A rabbi said he's glad to see the diary fall into Jewish hands, calling the acquisition significant. Who's the real Nazi now? So he wrote a couple books. Racial morphological study of the anterior segment of the mandible for racial groups. I wonder if that's true. If there's bigger mandibles depending on the racial groups. I would assume so. Genealogical studies in the cases of cleft lip jaw palate. I don't know what that is. Heredity transmission of the fistulae oris. What's that? Fistula oris, an anomalous fissure on the external ear. Oh. Preauricular sinus. Oh shit, that's no good. Interesting. I mean, he said to his son he had nothing to lose by saying that he didn't hurt anybody in his life. I mean, hold the fucking phone. He said there are no judges, only avengers, and he said to his only son. And he said, now I can die in peace, telling him my peace. Okay. So, now, more than likely, Josef Mengele probably didn't hurt a fly. Josef Rudolf Mengele probably didn't hurt a fucking fly then. If I had to guess, he was capable of being so kind to the children to have them become fond of him, to bring them sugar, to think of small details in their daily lives, and to do things we would genuinely admire. Then next to that, the crematorium smoke of these children tomorrow in half an hour, he was going to send them there. Well, that's where the anomaly lay. Mengele's eye research involved introducing chemicals or hormones into the eye subject, although there has been speculation Mengele was trying to attempt to Aryanize prisoners' eyes by making them blue with dyes or other chemicals. This idea has been rejected by Marvel. He argues that Mengele would not be interested in a cosmetic change with no genetic meaning. Well, hold on now. I didn't hurt anybody. I was only following orders. I didn't hurt anybody. Maybe he would be interested in a cosmetic change with no genetic meaning to save their lives. Administering adrenaline drops in the eyes of subjects while registering heterochromia. As part of his collaboration with biologist and eugenicist Karen Magnusman, who carried Reich-funded research on the eye color at Kaiser Wilhelm Institute of Anthropology in Berlin. Drugs or hormones such as adrenaline could alter pigmentation in the eyes of rabbits, as well as studying them at eyes. Okay. Myths and apocryphal anecdotes. Some testimonies regarding Mengele have been rejected and challenged by historians, including claim Mengele sewed two twins together to create conjoined twins. The historian has described this as a myth. Marvel rejected the other stories about Mengele, including surgically connected the urinary tract of a 7-year-old girl to her own colon, pretend to make boys into girls and girls into boys using cross transfusion, though he attempted to change people's eye color. Yeah. Well, maybe he probably didn't do any of those things. In this 1945 deposition, I know it's probably Nestle, but Nestle testified that he watched Mengele kill 14 twins in a single night, first by injecting Evapan to induce sleep. I don't know what that is. And then injecting their hearts with chloroform. Described differently in his book there, he said he smelled chloroform in the hearts of the twins he dissected. He added that he feared Mengele might have killed them for knowing this secret. Twin research was a particular interest. One twin could serve as a subject while the other as a control. Mengele viewed the opportunity to undertake twin research. In Auschwitz, normally difficult to locate a study of significant number of subjects. Researcher was concluded. Kaiser Wilhelm Institute, German research. Most of the twin study were children between the ages of 2 and 16. 1,000 sets of twins. Some were siblings who passed themselves off as twins to avoid being killed. The research largely involved taking tons of physical measurements and recording the characteristics of various anatomical features. Each examination could take several hours. Mengele generally ordered twins to undertake weekly physical examinations. The studies may have been pursued to uncover strategies for racially desirable Germans to produce more twins. The actual purpose of Mengele's twin research is unknown. Maybe he was just trying to keep the children alive, and he thought that if he could ask for twins, he could ask for double the children at all times. When an outlook of Noma, a gangrenous bacterial disease in mouth and face, struck the Romani camp in 1943, Mengele initiated a study to determine the cause of the disease, develop a treatment. Dude was a fucking hero. Mengele used Auschwitz as an opportunity to continue his studies for research in heredity using inmates' medical experience. He set up a research facility. Twins. I mean, did he kill anybody? Probably. He probably killed some people. I guarantee he probably killed some people. But it sounds to me like he legitimately was just a nice guy and he believed in racial supremacy, but he would never hurt a soul over it, and he didn't believe in hurting people over it. It sounded like he was probably just nice Christian guy. Probably killed people, probably did a lot of bad things that he regrets deeply, but I doubt he did anything of what he says he did, of what they say he did, because they're all liars. And look at what they say Trump did, and tell me that he did half the shit that he did. Adolf Hitler wasn't exactly an evil guy. Adolf Hitler was evil because he's a hypocrite. That's why he's evil. He didn't actually do anything evil because he was a dumbass. He was too stupid to do anything evil. He didn't invent the concentration camp. He didn't invent the idea of genociding the Jews. He didn't invent any of these things. He was just a fucking useful idiot, a figurehead, con man, a socialist, just another socialist opportunist on the long list of socialist opportunists. Hitler dead. Mass grave at Bergen-Belsen after the camp's liberation. Yeah, and then the mass graves were also fake because they were made up kinda by the Allies to some degree. There were mass graves, but they were made up mostly. Most of them were because they needed to put the bodies somewhere. And then the mass murder of the mentally ill, that kind of stuff was, that was popular in the eugenics movement. For peace, freedom, and democracy, never again fascism, millions of dead warn us. Peace, freedom, and democracy. Because freedom is slavery, war is peace, so forth and so on, as is the mantra of the left. Benito was a sad story. Hitler wasn't as sad. Hitler was just an idiot, drug-addicted idiot. Mussolini was sad. Very sad. Um, but yeah, Josef Mengele, he says he didn't hurt anybody. And I think he probably hurt some people, but it sounds like he really tried his best to not hurt anybody. And it sounds like he was okay. You know, he did everything in his power to. He was weak. He was weak. He was a weak man, and that he gave in to orders, but he did everything in his power to otherwise obfuscate those orders. So I don't know now. Now that I know that information, I mean, he told his son, don't believe anything they wrote about me. I didn't hurt a soul. I swear on my mother's life, I didn't hurt a soul. And now I can die at peace telling you my story. And really, you know, like that was his last words to you, and this is and you're telling me you're not going to believe him? What did he have to gain by saying that? What did he have to lose? That's his dying declaration. What did he have to lose by telling you this? You saw that he was depressed, he was suicidal, he was upset. He talked to you about it openly. That he was ashamed of what he had done and what he had been a part of. And that was his name embroidered on that Hugo Boss suit. And you choose not to believe him? What a scumbag. What an indoctrinated fucking scumbag. You're not going to believe your own father's fucking word to you. I believe my father's words, even after all the bullshit he's done. I know he means shit when he's serious. I can tell when he's being serious and when he's not. You can just know these things, man. Stop denying reality. You know, I mean, goddamn. Wow. Well, the more you know. The more you know. Now, Himmler was just a scumbag, right? I'm not going to find out some redeeming quality about Heinrich Himmler, am I? Early life. Conservative middle cat. Conservative, yeah, that's why he turned out to be a socialist, huh? Prince Heinrich of Bavaria, wow. He had poor ailments. He's kept it mentally from the age of 10. Interesting current events. Serious discussion of religion and sex, huh? Wow. Damn. Returned to Lansdowne after the war. He completed his grammar school. Wow. Studied agriculture, religion, and sex, huh? Himmler was anti-Semitic by the time he went to university, not exceptionally so. Studies that would often avoid Jewish classmates. He remained a Catholic while studies to most of his leisure, fencing fraternity at the League of Apollo, president of which was Jewish. Himmler maintained a polite demeanor with him and with other Jewish members of the fraternity in spite of his growing anti-Semitism. What? Growing anti-Semitism? What? During his second year, Himmler redoubled his attempts to pursue a military career that was not successful. He was able to, as a paramilitary seat in Munich. It was at this time he met Ernst Röhm, early member of the Nazi Party, former of the Batelung, a storm battalion. Himmler in Rome because he's a decorated combat soldier, and his suggestion Himmler joined his anti-Semitic nationalist group Bund Reichskriegsflagge. In 1922, Himmler became more interested in the Jewish question, which is a diary containing an increasing number of anti-Semitic remarks recording his discussion about Jews with his classmates. His reading list, as recorded in his diary, were dominated by anti-Semitic pamphlets, German myths, and occult tracts. So, in other words, the truth. After the murder of Foreign Minister Walter Reichenau, Himmler's political views veered towards the radical right. Yes, because definitely socialism is definitely right-wing, and he took part in a demonstration against the Treaty of Versailles, which was a fucking disgusting thing. Hyperinflation was raging. His parents could no longer afford to educate all three sons. Disappointed by his failure to make a career in the military and his parents' inability to finance his doctoral studies, he was forced to take a low-paying office job. Obtaining his agricultural diploma, he remained in that position until September of 1923. Himmler joined the Nazi Party on August 1st, 1923, receiving party member number 14303. As a member of Rome's paramilitary unit, Himmler was involved in a beer hall putsch, an unsuccessful attempt by Hitler and the Nazi Party to seize power in Munich, one of the many. This event sent Hitler on a life of politics. He was questioned by the police about his role in the putsch and was charged because of insufficient evidence. However, he lost his job, was unable to find employment as a farm manager, and had to move in with his parents in Munich. Damn. Frustrated by these failures, he became even more irritable, aggressive, opinionated, alienating both. So he became more staunch. That's good. That's a good thing. 1924, Himmler was searching for a worldview, came to abandon Catholicism and focused on occult and anti-Semitism. Germanic mythology reinforced by occult ideas became a religion for him. So he rejected Catholicism. Very sad. I found omnism after praying to the gods, and Christ answers you. So, if you've seen Christ, how can you deny his existence? But anyway, Himmler found the Nazi Party appealing because political opposition didn't agree with his views. He was not swept up by Hitler's charisma or the cult of Führer worship, which didn't exist. But as he learned more about Hitler through his reading, he began to regard him as a useful face of the party, and he later admired and even worshipped him. No, he didn't. To consolidate and advance his own position in the Nazi Party, Himmler took advantage of the disarray of the party and followed Hitler's arrest after the beer hall. Mid-1924, he worked under Gregor Strasser as a party secretary and propaganda assistant, traveling all over Bavaria, agitating for the party, gave speeches, and distributed literature, placed in charge of the party at the office. So it's kind of like a Malcolm X figure. By Strasser, late 1924, responsible for integrating the area's membership with the Nazi Party under Hitler when his party was refounded in 1925. The same year, he joined the Schutzstaffel and the SS Führer. His number was 168. The SS, initially part of a much larger SA, was formed in 1923 for Hitler's personal protection and was reformed in 1925 as an elite unit of the SA. Himmler's first leadership position. Okay. Numbers of Jews, Freemasons, enemies of the party, and those following strong need for control. He developed an elaborate bureaucracy. Okay, so he's a socialist idiot. Himmler told Hitler of his vision to transform the SS into a loyal, powerful, racially pure elite unit. Convinced that Himmler was the man for the job, Hitler appointed deputy to the Reichsführer, rank of SS Oberführer, overcommander, overseer. Around this time, Himmler joined the Ardaman League and Volkisch Youth Group. There he met Rudolf Höss, who was later commandant of the Auschwitz concentration camp, and Walter Dade, whose book The Peasantry as the life source of the Nordic race caught Hitler's attention, leading to his later appointment as Reich Minister for Food and Agriculture. Notice the communist, Marxist, Jewish communist verbiage in that phrase. The peasantry as the life source of Nordic race. Isn't that kind of funny? Spirit of Nordic race philosophy major influence on Himmler. Erhard Haydn in January 1929 resigned. Himmler assumed command of the position carried out DD's propaganda headquarters, organized a Nuremberg rally. There's a Nuremberg rally. Himmler grew SS force with 290 men, 3,000. Wow. Nazi Party took advantage of the Great Depression. Coalition of Weimar Republic was able to exclude. Hitler used populist rhetoric, blaming scapegoats, particularly the Jews, for the economic hardships. That's not populist rhetoric, you scumbag. It's all just propaganda. This is so much propaganda. In 1930, Himmler was first elected as deputy of the Reichstag. In 1932 election, Nazis won 37% of the vote, 230 seats in the Reichstag. Hitler was appointed chancellor permanently by Paul von Hindenburg. 33, having a short-lived coalition of his Nazis and the German National People's Party. New cabinet initially included Party Himmler, Hermann Göring, a minister without portfolio, a minister of interior for Prussia, and Wilhelm Frick. Months later, the Reichstag building was set on fire. And that was the January 6th of the Nazi Party. That's how the Nazis seized power. That was their January 6th. Was instead of Democrats seizing power like us, it was the Nazis seizing power. But the Democrats tried, but thankfully we learned from history and we didn't let them abolish all the political parties like the Nazis did. But they're Nazis. The Democrats are in fact Nazis. The rest of this is just going to all be propaganda. So he believed in the pagan gods, which is interesting. As I prayed to Zeus, I've prayed to Vishnu, I've prayed to many of the gods, and I've had my prayers answered. I prayed to Jesus, and I prayed to God of Abraham, God. I prayed to Tengri, I prayed to Perun. So yeah, so he even worked with the... We live in an era with the ultimate conflict with Christianity. It's part of the mission of the SS to give the German people in the next half-century the non-Christian ideological foundations on which led to shape their lives. SS is not consistent solely in overcoming an ideological opponent that must be conquered every step by step with positive impetus. In this case, it means a reconstruction of the German heritage in the widest and most comprehensive sense. So he wanted a total outlawing of Christianity and return to like the R2, what is it called? Atu? German pagan religion? R2? Asatru. That's what it's called. Asatru. Or something like that. Maybe not Asatru. But, whatever you call that. Germanic paganism. So anyway, yeah, so we wanted to return to Germanic paganism, which is interesting. That's certainly interesting. As a national religion, I don't see why not. I mean, it's Germanic paganism is national religion. Makes sense. You live in Germany. Right? I mean, official religion of the Nazi Party should have been that, but it wasn't, because they're idiots. So, that's interesting. That is highly interesting, though. So, the more you know, you gotta learn about this shit, man. I didn't know about any of that. And if Mengele honestly told his son, you know, and it probably was a thing where he did do a lot of bad things, and he did kill people that he didn't mean to kill. Why else would he be depressed and want to kill himself? You know, he believed, but he did the right thing, you know, and he probably did not butcher anybody. Probably didn't kill anybody. Probably didn't, not, you know, brutally as they say he did, you know. And he probably did dye their eyes just with regular fucking generic dye because he didn't want them to be killed, and he wanted to be like, look, I managed to, you know, he wanted to tell the SS officers, look, I got their eyes blue. See, I can, they can be saved. That was probably it, man. Because if he honestly said that to his son, you know, if that's really what he said to him, that I never hurt a soul. That I telling you, my only son, I never hurt a soul. You know. That's serious shit, man. That's serious shit. You know, you can't believe what people write about someone, you know. How propagandized. So sad that he was. Is Rolf Mengele alive? Apparently he is. Rolf Mengele regarding his father. Here he is. Here, let's listen to this guy's voice.
He had a stroke. I heard, and then Sedelmeier told me, look, he's not good, and maybe he's old, and it would great pleasure to him meeting you once. And
see, his son had blue eyes and dark hair.
I said, yes, it seems to me much better than to write always these letters forwards, backwards. And then I decided, really,
the Holocaust, known in Hebrew as the Shoah. They have a word for it.
To meet him, and of course also to discuss also some questions. It was a strange feeling. I saw him there standing in the door. It was the evening. I was surprised. This is your father. He looked to me old, small, somehow a little bit broken.
Yeah.
And it was a very difficult situation because I knew that for him it was one of the most important events in his older days. And I was a visitor and I was his son, and I really had to push me somehow to give a certain cordiality or a certain expression of sentiments, and he was very, very touched by the situation. His eyes were wet and nearly to tears, and he was also very proud about the situation because he felt that everybody from the family would not have had the power to come to him. And so he treated me somehow like a brave soldier which came through the enemy's lines. I avoided to speak about in the first days of our meeting, I avoided to speak about problematic points, as it is Auschwitz. Then later on, I came to this. Here, as I told you, he exploded, hearing this as a question from thy son to him. In the sense, how can you imagine that this is possible for me?
Yeah.
To do these things? Don't you see at the first line this is a lie or propaganda or I don't know why?
Yeah, man.
When
yeah, exactly.
I then stepped backwards and said, okay, selection. I think this was a fact and was admitted by him very clearly. He excused himself by just saying, okay, I can't help hundreds of thousands if there is such a horrible organization and system. But he excused somehow to say, I helped many of them, few of them. I tried to make him clear that even to be in Auschwitz and not to try every day to come away from there is for me an horrible and impossible fact. I could never understand human being can act like this, and it would not change in any position if this is my father or not. It is really for me against all ethic and moral and human understanding and nature.
Yeah, well, he's your fucking father, dude. He's your father. Who the fuck? He's your father. He did what he had to do, for God's sake. Now, this is what we're talking about on the alt-right when we talk about the Holocaust religion, because it is a religion. I mean, right here it has the Wikipedia article, the Shoah. They don't even call it the Holocaust. They don't even call it by that term. They call it only as it pertains to Jews. I mean, this is the Holocaust religion. Look, he did what he had to do, man. And he was ashamed that he was so weak that he let himself be a part of it. You can tell that immediately just by his whole mannerisms and everything. And for you to not believe him, I mean, can you imagine? See, this is what I'm talking about. What family? What country? These people, this man was so heavily propagandized that he turned on his own fucking father. He was so heavily indoctrinated with this fucking Holocaust religion, liberal, and fucking sanity bullshit. Completely fabricated out of thin air. They pulled it out of their ass. They pulled it out. They spoke the words as the thoughts came out of their head. And he's so wrapped up in it that he doesn't even believe his own fucking father. Do you understand how psychotic that is? That he chooses to believe the hundreds of thousands of propagandists over his own father? I can't imagine what you have to do, how much reality you have to deny, how much memory holding you have to do, how much degenerate, psychotic, psychopathic, schizophrenic, what kind of degeneracy you have to achieve to choose to believe what propagandists say over the words of your own father from his mouth. That is the death of humanity. The Holocaust wasn't the death of humanity, far from it. That's the death of humanity. When you stop believing your own fucking father's word and you start believing what hundreds of thousands of biased propagandists say instead, what Big Brother says instead, that's the death of humanity. Holocaust had nothing to do with it. Isn't that fucking crazy, dude? Isn't this fucking crazy that this shit was tolerated for this long? Isn't this fucking insane that all of our fucking fathers and forefathers and our grandfathers and our great-grandfathers tolerated this shit? This kind of shit? This level of demented, sick, depraved, perverted shit? I mean, there's no redemption from that. You can't redeem yourself from denying your own father's words. That's like denying Christ. That's like denying Christ. You don't have to agree with everything your parents do. You can fight them in wars and battles and still love them unconditionally, but you never deny what they say to be true. You never deny what they say to be meaningful when they say something like that. Never. Are you kidding me? That's insanity. They're so warped. What a warped perception of the world that to you it's more important to acknowledge facts of a war that you have no testimony or witness or history or relevance to in any capacity that may or may not have happened. The whole World War II, I have no way of verifying that World War II actually fucking took place, mind you, and you rather believe that than the words of your own father. Isn't that crazy? That disturbs me to my core, man. That disturbs any sane, rational human being to their core. I mean, what the fuck? I've seen some sick shit on this earth. You got like your 2 girls, 1 cup. You got your 1 man, 1 jar. I've never seen either of those, but I've heard about them. I mean, that's fucking crazy. Denying the words of your own fucking father. When someone says something like, just use your fucking head for 5 fucking minutes. He has nothing to gain by telling you he didn't hurt a fly. He told you after that, now I can die in peace. This, that, and the other. That at least I tried to tell my son, my only son, the only one I have left on this planet, that there is hope, that it's not true, that it's not as evil, that I'm not evil, that I'm not a failure, that I'm not this monster they make me out to be. I believe Mussolini in the Mussolini memoirs. I believe everything he says because he's dying. He knows he's going to die. He's aware that he's going to die. He has nothing to gain by lying. And in the end of the book, he deliberately writes the last chapter the way he does because he wants to. It's basically him saying, "Remember me for the man I was and not the man I'd become." Literally, that's basically what it says. And that's just this profound. It's this profound insight into the human condition that you can't find anywhere else except maybe in religion. It's this unbelievably beautiful, beautifully worded, beautifully composed, beautifully drafted insight that you cannot find anywhere else. And you think that he's not being honest just because he's Mussolini, just because he's He's so somehow because he's Mussolini, he's beyond recompense. You know, that's fucking sick, dude. That's fucking sick. Denying the testimony of your own father to a bunch of fucking liberal propagandists. Liberal Jewish propagandists, mind you. But they weren't real Jews anyway. They denied their Judaism, so they weren't real Jews. This is the thing. We're done with the Holocaust religion. We're done with viewing these people as monsters and not as people. They're people. Josef Mengele was a man just as much as you or I were. And so was Adolf Hitler, and so was Benito Mussolini, and so was Oliver Cromwell, and so was Julius Caesar, and so were all the great evil men of history. Evil. You know, what is evil? You hear, I mean, he's depressed that he couldn't save more people. That they made him choose. They made him kill people. And he's depressed that he put up with it. He's depressed that he was so weak that he let it go on. I mean, you can hear it. It's just... What a fucked up world we live in, dude. Looking at Nick Fuentes now. I don't know who Steven Crowder is. I don't know any of these people he talks about are like Bronze Age pervert. I don't know any of this shit. I don't really care, to be honest. I'm not gonna watch anything anymore. I'm not gonna watch propaganda anymore. It's just like, fucking hell. Well, if you ever need more reasons to lose all faith in humanity, I just gave you some. People would rather believe the random whims of random, esoteric, perverted, sick, pedantic strangers than that of their own father's eyewitness testimony. I already knew that people would do this. Like, I'm not shocked that someone would do this. It's just like of someone, especially of some historical... I hope that Rolf, I guess he's still alive. I don't know. He's 90. If he is still alive, he's like 90-something years old. I don't know if he's still alive. I hope that Rolf was just saying those things because he had to on TV. And he was just making money and pocketing bank. I hope he really does believe his father. I hope he does forgive his father for all that he did. And he really did believe his father when he said, "I didn't hurt a fly." I mean, I really hope he does believe that. Because if he doesn't, I don't know if you're going to hell for that or whatever. But like, whatever it is, your mind is so warped. Your mind is so warped. You know, more warped than your father's ever was. You know. How depressing is that, man? You know, how fucking depressing is that? You know? Like, god damn. but this is what you've chosen to believe. But anyway, yeah. Well, it's 3 in the morning. I think that's a good place to call it. Well, we learned about Nazis. Turns out there's only anecdotal evidence to support that they used gas chambers to commit genocide. The Soviets did, though. The Soviets killed people with some people with gas chambers, mostly just in experiments. And maybe a couple Nazis did here and there, but certainly wasn't widespread. And Josef Mengele probably didn't kill anybody, and Rolf Mengele, I pray that he is not as indoctrinated as he claims to be, and hopefully he, just as his father did before him, finds peace somewhere in life, and hopefully denies the Holocaust religion and embraces Christ, or Judaism, or any religion besides the Holocaust religion, and yeah. So the more you know. Okay, lonely people. Everybody's lonely. Everybody I knew was lonely. Everybody I ever met was lonely. Why do you think I we're all lonely people. So. Alright, well, I should do, oh god, I gotta do laundry because I gotta go to work tomorrow. Oh no, alright, well, we'll do laundry here. But yeah, I'm gonna just get off here, and I'll do laundry, and I'll put away my money. Maybe I won't put away, I don't feel like putting away my money right now. I don't have that much money out anyway, so, but we'll do laundry, and we'll get all that shit going, and, yeah, I got a watch, I got, shit done. Shepherd's pie is all done. It's all eaten. It's all empty now. So, I didn't clean up my place. I don't really feel like cleaning up my place. It's just gonna be a mess. That's okay. And yeah, I'll see. I gotta move this video to over here. So, well, maybe I don't actually, because it's still got like an hour left to transcode. So, whatever. Yeah, I'm just gonna get ready for bed here, try and get in bed by 4 a.m. And yeah, so I'll see you tomorrow.